we are from Group 2, and in this short video, we will be presenting about something we all experience, and even if we don't always realize it, and that is inflation. From rising grocery bills to more expensive petrol, inflation affects our daily lives. But what exactly causes it? How does it impact people's, businesses and their economy? And what can it be done to manage it? Let's take a few minutes to break it down, especially in the context of what is really happening here in Malaysia.
Alright, so what exactly is inflation? Inflation is when the prices of goods and services like groceries, food and transportation increase over time. It means the same amount of money but you less. For example, if nasi lemak used to cost 2 ringgit and now it's 3 ringgit, that's inflation. Now, there are two main types of inflation you should know about. First, demand pull inflation. This happens when a lot of people want to buy goods but there is not enough supply. So, business raise prices because they know people will still pay. Second, cost push inflation. This happens when it's become more expensive to make product. Maybe food price go up or shipping costs rise. Business have no choice but to increase their prices to cover their costs.
Moving to present about the inflation rate from the year 2020 to 2024. Let's begin with 2020. The inflation rate was negative 1.2%, indicating depression. This was mainly due to the COVID-19 lockdown, which caused a sharp drop in consumer demand. Business was shut, movement was restricted, and people spent less. In 2021, the situation began to improve. The inflation rate rose to 2.5% as economic recovery began. People started spending more and fuel price increase, which pushed up the overall prices. Moving on to 2022, the inflation further increased to 3.4%, which was the peak during the period. This was driven by the high oil prices, global food shortage, and a weakened Malaysian ringgit. All these factors combined up together to pressure on the cost of living. In 2023, the inflation slightly dropped to 3.0%. This shows a sign of stabilization, although prices remain high, especially for essential goods. The pace of price increase slow, but the cost levels stay elevated. Finally, in 2024, the inflation rate declined to 1.8%. This can be attributed to Bank Negara Malaysia's tighter monetary policy and the adjustment in government subsidiaries, which helped bring inflation under control.
Now, what causes inflation in Malaysia? As we know, inflation in Malaysia is caused by a mix of global and local factors. Globally, the war in Ukraine and problems with supply chains have made oil, food and raw materials more expensive. Since Malaysia imports a lot of these things, prices have gone up. Also, the ringgit has become weaker compared to the US dollar, so it costs more to buy things from other countries. Locally, the government has started cutting fuel subsidies, especially for diesel. This has made transport and food delivery more expensive. On top of that, after COVID-19, more people started shopping, traveling and eating out again. This high demand has pushed prices up even more. So, it's not just one reason. Inflation is caused by many things happening at the same time, both in Malaysia and around the world.
So, how does inflation actually affect us? For everyday people, it means higher price for food and rent. Many families, especially from the B40 and M40 groups, struggle to stretch their income. Some even cut down on essentials just to manage monthly expenses. Students feel it too, such as cafeteria prices, grade fares, and even stationery costs more than before. For business, especially small ones, rising costs make it harder to survive. When raw materials and transport get expensive, they either raise price or earn less profit. Even the government feels the impact. Higher costs mean more pressure on subsidies, public wages, and debt repayment. So, inflation doesn't just raise price, but it squeezes the whole economy.
In conclusion, inflation in Malaysia is shaped by a mix of global and domestic factors.
The experience from 2020 to 2024 shows that Malaysia is not immune to global shock like pandemic wars and commodity price surge. Inflation affects everyone but hits the poor the hardest. Although inflation is now under control, prices remain high compared to pre-pandemic levels. This calls for sustainable and people-centered policy moving forward.